And woo, 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 yeah, woo, yeah, woo, woo. Welcome back to another episode of Convos with Your Mom's Favorites with hosts Moe and Greg. I am Moe.
I'm Greg.
And we are back. We are back. We are back.
Come on, clap with us.
With another episode for who?
The people.
The people. Uncle G, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. As we were just discussing, I am going on vacation.
Lucky you. I ain't mad at you.
I cannot wait. And even though I will only be gone like 3 days, and even gonna hold dropping shopping, like I'm gonna be going for 2 weeks. But we'll figure it all out afterwards. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I need to, get away.
Get away for a little while.
Yeah.
3 days. You know what? 3 days is good. That's a good time. That's a good time.
Yeah. And believe it or not, it's only like gone. I will be away 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because we leave Saturday, but I come back Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have some of Saturday and like Tuesday morning. So it's like more than 3 days even still. So,
yeah.
But yeah. I cannot wait. But we were just discussing, which is why we started to record the MTV Movie Awards, which was yesterday
night.
at the time of this recording. It was on Sunday, and you said you watched it.
I watched it unintentionally.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching something else on the station. I don't even know what station it was. I was watching something else. I know what I was watching. No, it was not MTV.
It wasn't MTV?
No, MTV.
That's right, because Viacom has multiple channels.
Yeah.
Viacom owns the world, so it's on.
Actually, guess where they were showing it at?
Where?
PBS.
Yeah.
On PBS.
Yes.
I was watching. Originally, I started watching the coronation concert.
Okay.
They did a big concert after the King's coronation. So I was watching that, and then after that, I didn't know Viacom was on PBS, and so I was surprised. And the next thing you know, it's like MTV Movie and Music Awards, and I'm sitting there like, I thought this was PBS. But at any rate, I don't even, like I said, I have not watched this award show in about 15, 20 years tops.
Right.
About 15, 20 years, and because of that's what brought all of this around, and I guess it's kind of going to help us even segue into the next thing.
Right.
Because of the writer's strike, they had to change the whole format of the show.
They did, because initially it was supposed to be live.
Yeah, it was supposed to be live.
And Kelly Clarkson was supposed to host, but she backed out in support of the writer's strike, so they ended up taping it.
And there were a lot of people that were backing out because of the writer's strike. And then, of course, the writers were backing out.
Right.
And the whole thing had to, so what it ended up being was what would you call it? Not a tribute, a set of outtakes or clips. Yeah.
Right.
A clip show. That's what it ended up being, a clip show. Excuse me. Then they started showing all different things from the beginning to current.
They had to rebound.
Yeah.
They had to seriously rebound.
And so that made it interesting because I'm sitting there and I'm looking at and I'm seeing some stuff that I have not seen since the first time I saw it on television. So it was kind of fun. The one thing, and this is probably and in the midst of looking at it, you see some stuff and then now you start thinking. There is a famous one because they were talking about some of the biggest or the most out of control entrances.
Okay.
It was an entrance, I forgot what year it was, but it was Sacha Baron Cohen. He was dressed as an angel, but the angel, he didn't have on any pants. He had on like a thong, and they brought
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, exactly. This is who we're talking about. And as they were lowering him from the ceiling in the angel costume, it happened accidentally on purpose. It flipped him over. And so now he's butt in air, head towards the ground. But they keep lowering him. And guess where they lower him? They lower him right into the lap of Eminem. So now Eminem, his head is in Eminem's lap. And his butt is, I mean, when I say his butt is literally about 2 inches from Eminem's face. And he's trying to back up in his chair. He couldn't, but you could tell that was like that he was getting, because his guys, they jumped up and they grabbed Cohen, and they got him, to get him away from Eminem. But Eminem got up and left. If I remember that show correctly, I believe he left and he didn't come back. And so you wonder now, so why certain artists don't do certain shows, or why they don't like to do award shows, period. I don't know if he's even been back to MTV.
Because I'm almost positive they didn't it'll probably would have been more okay if they told him first.
Yeah. It probably, because he could have just said, what, this is staged. No, but this, I don't think.
I don't think.
And I don't think he would have given them permission to do that.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't have happened. It would not have happened with Eminem at the MTV. It would not have happened with Eminem. So that part was probably it as well.
That and they showed that, and I was like, and then it brought back the memory of it happening live, and I was like, oh my gosh. And it's interesting, the kind of stuff. The progression for me, because like I said, I've been watching it since kind of like the beginning, and I don't know. No, he didn't host the MTV Movie Awards. He hosted the MTV Music Awards. Andrew Dice Clay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he got on there and did his famous monologue and said some things that he shouldn't have said, or so but for which for back then was unacceptable. But it's like you go from back then and you're looking at the stuff that they're doing on there now, and you're like, wow, that was tame in comparison. Yeah,
the world's a very strange and interesting place.
It is very interesting.
It's a very strange and interesting place.
But at any rate, I watched it, and it was a clip show. So if you go back and watch it, it's just
rightfully so, because how do you have an award show in the middle of a writer's strike? Because who's writing
the script?
Who's writing the script for writing the script for the award show?
And that's what made, because when I finally, because I was like, why are they doing a clip show? And then I remembered. I was like, oh no, I remembered because, what's her name? What's that girl name from White Lotus?
Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah, Jennifer Coolidge won an award for best comedy or something like that. Not a movie per se, but just for being the best, the funniest person. So she won this award, and when they gave it to her, she was doing her monologue, and she said, and she said one of the reasons she was, in other words, giving her solidarity support to the writers on the writer's strike. And I was like, oh, that's right, it's a writer's strike. That's why they're doing it this way. Yeah.
That's not why I didn't watch. As I stated before this podcast, one, I haven't watched an MTV award show in forever because it's not for me anymore.
Yeah, no,
it's not for me anymore.
Yeah,
because I am not a teen, so they are not.
That music's not
even so much the music, but it's just like
a whole. Yeah.
There's as a whole, the movies that are nominated and are now winning for.
Oh, that's right. Because go ahead.
The movies that are nominated and that are winning these award shows, and the music that is nominated and winning these award shows, they're not choosing the best pictures.
No.
Or actors or actresses.
They are not.
They are choosing who's hot right now, who's in right now, the movies that all the kids are going to see right now.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly okay if that's what you want to do.
That is
but
fine.
Now that I know that, I stay away from it because
I got you.
I want to see the best of the best.
Yeah.
I don't want to see what the teen population love, or what they're loving right now,
or what's trending big on social media.
Yeah. What I don't really care for that. That was the last time I watched I didn't even finish the whole thing. I started watching it, but then literally like 4 awards in a row went to the Twilight series or an actor in that movie. When that happened, I turned it off because I knew what kind of award show I was in for.
Yeah.
Because I'm like literally Edward Cullen walked away with like 4 awards that night. Twilight walked away with literally everything that night. Yeah. And I was just like, okay, this is cool. If like you love the series, and don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the series, but there were better movies. I don't even remember the other things that were nominated.
Yeah.
But there were, I can guarantee you there were better actors and movies.
Case in point, what won for best movie last night?
Scream 6? Are you kidding me? Now, don't get me wrong. No. I haven't seen it, but from what I was told, this is one of the best Screams in a long time.
Really? Yes. I have not seen any of them.
It's one of back to the original, like one of the best Screams in a long time.
Although I did hear that. I said that this was one of the best ones in the franchise.
Yeah, but I'm like, of the year?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It was up against what were the other ones? Elvis, Black Panther, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and I forgot the other movies, but they were all 10 times as big.
I highly doubt Elvis. I highly doubt it was better than Elvis. I haven't seen, like I said, one to this date. I'm gonna be honest too. I still haven't seen Elvis.
Okay,
but I haven't seen Scream 6 either. So, but. Like, it was nominated at the Grammys.
Okay.
Like, I mean, not the Grammys. The what is that award show? The Oscars. There you go. It's nominated at the Oscars, bro. Like, you're not gonna tell me that Scream 6 is better than Elvis. Like, you're not.
You're just not. And you're right, because I didn't see some of the other movies they announced in that category. Yeah. I didn't see all of them, but I'm looking at it, and when they said Scream 6 won, I was like, oh, I'm sure Scream 6 might have been a good movie. But it wasn't that good.
Yeah, like no, it's just popping because Jenna Ortega is in right now because of Wednesday and Scream, and because Scream is like it's making a resurgence in like the horror genre.
Yeah,
because they have already decided that it's getting another one. Like Scream 7 is happening. Maybe not, given that
Matter of fact, I believe Scream 6 is streaming.
Yes, it's on Paramount
Plus. Yeah.
It's on Paramount Plus.
I haven't watched it yet, but I keep saying I'm going, especially after it won. I was like, no, all right, now I got to watch this.
I'll go watch it. It's on Paramount Plus. But who knows about 7 given the current state of the writer strike? For those who live under a rock and don't know by now, the writers
and haven't noticed on your television.
Right, who haven't been, who don't watch TV at all, or like read a newspaper, or go on, like who don't have a phone, like the Writers Guild of America is on strike. And why? It's honestly similar to what ScarJo went through with Disney. They're arguing for streaming rights, and they're getting paid adequately.
Okay.
For streaming rights.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
With the same thing like ScarJo. Because honestly, Disney, you're cool, but I was definitely on ScarJo's side in that lawsuit.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like, bro, what do you mean? Like, you telling me if I hit this number, I get paid this. But because you're only counting ticket sales.
Yeah. Yep.
But then you release it straight to streaming. So now I don't hit this.
Yeah.
So now I don't get this money?
Yeah.
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it's the same for the writers. At the end of the day, right? This doesn't even have to be a long, drawn out discussion. Pay
them.
The people what they are worth.
Yeah.
You remember what happened 15 years ago with the last writer's strike,
that's all you got to
and
remember.
How so many shows and movies suffered
because of that.
Because of a lack of writers. Because if we're honest, what do you have to shoot if you don't have people to? Everything starts with starts with an idea that becomes words on a page. If you have no one to write the words on a page, no one else has anything to do. What are you going to shoot?
Scenery.
Like making visual effects of what? Like who? Like the person is just gonna just do what? Even though it is just a little crazy, you talk show hosts. A lot of you are comedians.
Comedians. Oh, dude.
A lot of you are comedians,
dude.
So, I mean, you can't hold your show down.
You can't exactly.
You can't. You mean to tell me
exactly
you're not funny?
And it's interesting because all of them, the comedians,
yes,
at one point or another, wrote.
Like you were on the other side of this.
Yes, you wrote, and then you got so large you didn't have to write your own stuff anymore.
Right.
The only thing you have to do now is approve it. But you wrote.
You all wrote. Now I can understand those who are like Seth Meyers, and I think Jimmy Fallon as well.
Yep.
They are standing with, like those shows shut down because they're standing in solidarity with the writers. And I just commend you all and applaud everyone who is standing, in solidarity with the writers, because again, everyone deserves to get paid adequately for the work they are putting in.
That's right. And for those who might think that the writers are overpaid and all those people are overpaid, no, they work. They go out and they work. They work for
exactly
that, and then this is the scale of pay for those types of jobs,
and that is a problem, because if I'm gonna be honest, there's no reason to pay Chris Pratt $5 million to do Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
And for the writer,
exactly,
to get maybe $500
exactly, or
for writing Guardians of the Galaxy,
which would not have happened if the writer had not put pen to page or computer or whatever.
If there are no words printed, like if there are no words, Chris Pratt doesn't have a job,
and he doesn't
have that job.
He doesn't get his $5 million.
He doesn't get his $5 million. There's no reason that no writer should be making pennies on the dollar what like everyone else is making.
Yeah. And actually, they should not even have to be fighting for that.
They shouldn't be.
They shouldn't have to even fight for that, really, because again, they are the ones who really move all of this stuff. They're the storytellers. They are the story. If there's no story to tell, then we don't need any actors.
We don't
need any actors. We don't need no lighting. Lighting for what? An empty stage. We don't need lighting. We don't
need the stage.
We don't need We don't need cinematography.
Like we don't need these things. If there are no writers,
because there's no reason.
There's no reason for any of it.
Yep. And they proved that the last time they did this.
They sure did. Because I will never forgive them for what happened to Heroes.
Oh, definitely.
And
definitely
so many other shows. If we're being honest, Supernatural too. Like but pre-writer strike. Now there are those shows like Supernatural that
that Supernatural had such a high. Had such an incredibly loyal audience.
Because of the subject matter, there were so many just different ways as we saw with the show. Because if we're being honest, Supernatural could have ended at season 7.
Heck yeah.
There was 16 seasons. There was no need for there to be 16 seasons of Supernatural.
That story should have been told.
Like if all you have left is God, you've gone too far with your show.
Yeah.
Like if that's all you have left to fight for them to fight, you've gone too far with your show.
Yeah.
But again, Supernatural was able to weather the storm. There were a lot of shows again like Heroes that
did not. Heroes had good storylines, good solid
major potential,
and it had major potential. The writer's strike killed it. So for those who may be wondering what happened to Heroes, that's what happened to Heroes. The writer's strike killed it. Had the writer's strikes, then they would have kept the same quality of writers that they had before.
Yep.
And these were the ones who had been telling the story from the beginning. And there's probably a lot of stuff that ended up happening in Heroes that would not have happened had the original writers, not had to go on strike. And some lose their jobs. Some moved on to other jobs when work became available again. Moved on to other jobs, and so again, and they had to get writers to replace them. You know how it is. You come in trying to tell a story from the middle of it.
Exactly.
You know. Now you want to come in and change everything. Where are we hearing? How are we hearing that?
It's literally like, right? It would be like take a show like The Office that has a large cast of characters. It would be like if in season 6 they got rid of half the cast and replaced them.
Yeah.
If they got rid of half the cast and replaced them, and then tried to go on like nothing happened. Like nothing happened.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, no, that show, I know I would have stopped watching it.
Yeah. A lot. The fan base would have went insane.
Yes, we'd have lost our mind.
Yeah, they would have went insane.
We would have bullied the people like we did the people who did Sonic.
Yeah, they would have bullied. They would have bullied.
Can't believe that Sonic got bullied that way.
Yeah,
that's incredible. What we can do when we put our minds
to it,
and just shows just a little bullying.
And what really
gets the job done.
And then what really killed Heroes is that during the writer's strike, and Heroes started showing reruns. This gave people who were watching Heroes religiously on that particular night the opportunity to go watch other reruns on other stations. And what happened with the lowering of Heroes, the raising of 24. Because a lot of people who were watching Heroes, who were already invested in watching Heroes, had not watched 24, only to find out when Heroes is now showing the reruns, well, I've seen these already, so I'm going to go watch something else. They watched 24, because that's what I did. I watched 24, and the next thing you know, I'm sucked in.
Well, there you go.
I was sucked in. I was like, oh my God, this is a great show. How have I been missing this? Because I wasn't.
And this honestly might be something that will happen again, because the longer these shows, luckily though, in the favor of shows that are good and that I like, a lot of shows were at the season finale, or they finished the season to end.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, like we would have to figure out something, like we're about to hit the summer. So honestly, we would have had to have figured out something else to watch with a lot of favorite shows anyway. Now the problem is going to be, should this thing not be resolved before the end of the summer and shows are not able to come back as they are supposed to, then it might be a little problematic, because every day you see a new show or movie that has shut down production due to the writer's strike. And like everything. Like I just saw today, what did I see today? The next Game of Thrones spinoff.
Really? They shut down?
They've shut down production because of the writer's strike. Blade for Marvel has shut down because of the writer's strike. Like just so many shows that have just like
gone.
They're done.
Shut down. Well, no, I won't say they're gone. They have
shut down production. Like, fam, SNL was mid-season, and they may not finish this season.
They may not finish the season. Yep. They may. I was thinking about that the other night. I was like, oh God, they're not. Because I keep. You know what? The last writer's strike messed me up so bad that I am like terrified.
Oh, I am beyond terrified, because
I am like terrified. This one. I was like, y'all better go and get this resolved quick.
Especially because I don't know like the shows that I watch, right? A lot of shows are not mainstream popular shows. They're very obscure shows. Like the fan base isn't as big, but it's a loyal fan base. So I'm nervous because, like I said, a good 70 to 80% of the shows I watch are not that I love, are not mainstream shows. I am very scared for them shows that, one, they may not come back at all.
Exactly.
And if they come back, they may not do well enough to survive because they haven't. One show I started watching, it's called Grand Crew.
Okay.
Comes on NBC.
Yeah.
Came on. Grand Crew aired the same night as Abbott Elementary.
Okay.
Like their first, both of their series premieres were on the same night. Me personally, when I started watching the two, I loved Grand Crew more than Abbott Elementary.
Yeah. Yep.
But the masses gravitated
towards
to Abbott.
Yep. Which is what I did. I gravitated towards Abbott, and I kind of like stayed there.
Yes. And a lot of people stayed there because if I'm not mistaken, I think they even came on at like same time. No, I don't remember. But a lot of people gravitated toward Abbott and not so much towards, because it was right after the series finale of Blackish. So the black community was
we were
looking for
something.
Our next show like Blackish.
Yeah.
And it's Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was still kind of up in the air. I gravitated towards Grand Crew. Grand Crew just came back for its second season as we're like waiting for 3 from Abbott.
And, for those who have not watched Grand Crew, it is funny.
It is funny.
It is funny.
It is funny.
It is a funny show. I have not watched everything, all of it yet.
Yeah.
But I have watched a couple of episodes, and what I did watch, I did like.
Yes. It is still very funny. Yeah. And if you're still asking me, I still enjoy Grand Crew more than Abbott Elementary. Love both shows.
Yeah.
Both shows are peak black excellence.
Yeah.
I just enjoy Grand Crew more. And believe it or not, the only reason I think I enjoy it more is because Abbott gives me Office vibes.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see where
it gives me Office vibes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Even as far as like when something happens and you just like you stare off at the camera.
Yeah. It's being filmed almost like The Office was filmed almost like a documentary.
Yeah, because that's exactly what happened.
So was Abbott Elementary.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it kind of gave me. So I was like, okay, Grand Crew was a fresher concept as like a group of friends who enjoy wine and in L.A.
Yeah.
So, that was cool for me, but I am very worried about.
And the interesting part about it is that because, and I love this. This is one of the things I love about it is the fact that they've done this because it's like that's not. It's like they've done this, and for me, I love it because it's like it shows another spectrum of our relationship, of our black people, our experience, how we relate, how we like to go out and drink wine too.
Right. It's not like we don't always just go for the hard stuff.
Yeah. We like to go and just, we could be friends.
Exactly. Like, because it's like everyone's successful.
Yeah.
On some level. Like, and it's not even like they're going out and like they're getting drunk.
No,
it's just they have their favorite bar.
And this is where they go meet to hang out.
And where they go meet to hang out and they go enjoy wine together as a group.
Yep. So again, why can't we do that?
Right.
And so that's one of the things I like about it. But then the writing is really good.
It's really good, especially like this second season. Yes. I enjoyed so much.
Yeah.
This second season of Grand Crew that I am waiting for. Season 3, hopefully, prayerfully. It has not been renewed as of yet. No. It took forever for it to get its second season.
Yeah, I remember.
So I am praying that it gets a third season because what it did, which I liked a lot, because a lot of shows, they hit you with a lot of comedy. Like a lot of shows like this, they hit you with a lot of comedy for like 4 or 5 seasons. And then at like 5 or 6, that's when the characters start to like grow and develop and change. And the tone starts to shift to where it's like half serious, half comedy.
A la Friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas this season went from all comedy season 1 to season 2. it immediately hit that shift where like everybody's starting to just grow as people, and we're like they're starting to discover things about themselves. Everybody's just growing and learning things that like they like about themselves, and that's part of even what resonates with me because I'm kind of in that. Like in my personal life, I'm in that growing, figuring out the things that I like myself. So it's just like, yes, I like to see that on TV because it's like, yo, I'm kind of going through that at this moment.
I can relate to that.
I can relate.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to it. So I am praying that it, gets renewed for season 3 and that it is not affected by the writer's strike.
Yeah.
Which is what we were talking about in the first place. But honestly, just to pay the writers their worth.
Yeah.
Stop lowballing them.
Yeah.
Like pay the writers their worth. Just pay people their worth. Not even just like we're talking about the writers because it's affecting
and that's who's on strike. And
who's on strike.
And it affects what we do here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Because if there's nothing to come out, if there's nothing out, there's nothing for us to talk about on this here movie and TV podcast. So pay the writers so we can keep doing what we love to do. Thank you. That is a public service announcement from Convos with your mom's favorites. Thank you.
Thank you.
On to bigger and better things.
Yes.
Not bigger and better things, but bigger things. Because last weekend, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was released in theaters.
Yes.
As you can see by my popcorn tin behind us. I went and got the special edition. We went to see it. Because we do that with Marvel movies. Even though how I'm personally feeling with Marvel right now and the state of it.
Yeah.
I still bought my tickets early to go see this movie opening weekend. And even honestly, how I'm feeling against James Gunn and everything he's doing over there at DC. That man did not disappoint when it came to Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And if you have not seen it, you could turn this off right now.
Yeah, please.
Turn this off right now.
You might as well just turn
if you
it
haven't
off.
seen it, because I'm not holding nothing. I'm not holding nothing. So if you have not seen this, if you have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy, you just want to hold off on this part until you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, James Gunn did not disappoint with this movie.
It did not disappoint.
It was the perfect way to end a trilogy.
I agree. It was the perfect way to end this off again, and I'm glad they didn't just go for because I'm thinking what I thought was going to happen because I didn't hear too much about it and I wasn't trying to hear too much about it. I'm figuring they're going to kill everybody off.
I didn't think everybody,
or maybe not everybody, but they would kill enough of off that to make this.
There's like 2-3. There were like 2-3 people I did not think were making it out of this movie alive.
Who didn't you think was gonna make it?
Because the story seemed to be focused around him.
Yep.
I just knew Rocket was dead.
I didn't think Rocket was gonna make it.
I just knew Rocket was dead. Because Dave Bautista said that this was it for him.
Yeah.
I thought he would die.
Yep. I thought he would die.
And because I saw that Zoe Saldana said this was it for her, I thought she was dying too.
Yep. Again.
No, again. No one else really, like everybody else kind of just was like, if it happens, it happens. Like, no, like,
and
cool.
I figured everybody else would just be dealing with the tragedy. But those are like the three main, those are the same three that I thought were going to be killed off.
Right.
But they didn't they didn't do that. They did something totally different, and it was.
Well, honestly, they did, but they said psych.
What do you mean?
Because Rocket almost died. He was dying.
Yeah. Well, the whole movie started around that.
Yes. Like he was he almost went into the light.
Yeah.
But luckily his homegirl was like, "You ain't ready. You can't come yet."
Yeah.
You can't come. Yo, honestly, just quick sidebar, right? How we get that to happen in real life?
You mean what?
Like when people just be seeing at the light, Like, because it's certain people.
Mm-hmm.
I just needed somebody right there to be like, no, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
You know,
I hear you.
Certain people just.
So why didn't somebody jump out and say,
right? No, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
That just, that's
but even with
it's being selfish, if we're being honest. But
the heart wants what it wants.
The heart's what it wants.
What it wants.
And being selfish, I was just like, that would have been nice. But anyway, Rocket, I thought, I thought he was gone out of here. And honestly, I thought Peter was dead in space when he was like in space.
Dude,
I did not see any
I was like, for me, I was like, there's no coming back from this.
There's no coming back from this.
I'm sitting there getting really, 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 really sad in the midst of all that. I'm like, Peter's dead.
Yeah.
I'm like,
especially like once his face started swelling.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yo, Groot about to get him. But then when I saw his branches started breaking, I said, Groot can't get him.
He's dead.
Get him. Oh my goodness, he's gonna die. Not Peter.
No.
Even though I'm still mad because they could have beat Thanos if it wasn't for you, but I don't want you to die yet. But nobody died.
No.
Which was great.
Yeah.
But the movie was just, it was fantastic.
Incredible.
I will say Marvel has only had 2 trilogies that were good from beginning to end. Where like each one, honestly, I would say got like better.
Okay.
Cap.
Who?
Cap.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Guardians.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's it for me.
Yeah. All the other ones hit or miss.
Hit or miss. Because
miss.
Iron Man 1, spectacular.
Incredible.
Iron Man 2,
Which one was? Yeah, Iron Man 2. Iron Man 3. Oh, bad movie. Incredibly.
I honestly love Iron Man 3. Watch it every time it's on TV.
I can't even remember how old the movie is now. I think in all the time it's been out, I've watched it twice.
Yeah.
And that was I'm talking about the original time I went and saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
And then at one point I just was randomly just picked it out on Disney Plus. But other than that, those are the only 2 times I watched it.
I watch it. I watch it quite often. And now, especially since it is following Die Hard rules and it's now a Christmas movie, and they play it a lot at Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yes. Because it takes place during Christmas.
That's right.
It takes place during Christmas.
I forgot. The movie, like I said, because of the fact that I just don't like to watch it.
It's a Christmas movie. Like it was on TV so much in the month of December. I think I watched it like every time I saw it. Because honestly, I'm not mad. Like I love Tony that much that but like the second one wasn't all that great.
No.
Cap 1, Cap 1, fantastic.
Yeah.
Cap 2, one of the best movies ever put out by Marvel ever.
Yeah.
The only reason for me that Cap 3 Civil War is not better than Winter Soldier is because I was rooting for Tony.
Okay. Well, didn't Tony
No. Bucky and Cap kicked.
Oh, no. They
But at the end of it, they jumped him.
They beat him. Yeah.
They jumped him.
I heard that phrase a lot. He got jumped.
He got jumped.
He got jumped.
Now, don't get me wrong. It looked great.
Yeah, with the visuals.
Had it been anybody else,
the visuals,
I'd have been way too high. Like, that was a thorough butt whooping. Thorough.
Yeah. Well, how do you compare it to the butt whooping that Ant-Man got in Quantumania?
Oh nah, Ant-Man got jumped too.
Yeah, he got jumped by one.
And it was only one person.
It just felt like 5.
Yeah, like he got jumped by one person. That's all that was.
It just looked like he got beat by 5.
But back to Guardians.
Yeah.
Just as a whole, just the progression of each and every character, from like when we first see them on screen to where they are now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I don't see anyone else
Nobody.
who could do Drax like he can do Drax. Like for me, he's up there with Tony.
Yeah.
I mean with RDJ.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. if you ask me now, today, if you need somebody else to do Tony Stark, you see how I just said if you need anybody else to do RDJ, because they the same person. Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr. are one and the same
person.
So if you need anybody else to play Tony Stark, if it's not Robert Downey Jr., don't call him.
Yeah.
Don't call.
Don't leave it alone.
Leave it alone. In the same way, if you need Drax, if you're not calling Dave Bautista, leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Nah.
And since we're on the subject, even though he said 3 words, I am and Groot, if you need anybody to voice Groot and you don't call Vin Diesel, leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Because I want that job.
Yeah.
Because that man, even though he said recently in the article that he didn't get paid like millions of dollars, but I just don't believe that. The man got made millions of dollars.
And even if you didn't.
3 words.
And even if you didn't, how much work did you really do?
Hello.
How much work did you really do? Oh, sidebar. I read this article the other day because now since the Guardians have come out, and that's been like getting all the press lately. I mean, everybody's loving it. So I've been getting all these crazy favorable all around. Nothing. I have not read one thing bad about it.
No.
But this particular article said, remember the line Groot does at the end?
Yes.
He says, "I love you guys."
Yes.
So this guy wrote an article. He said, actually, he said, "I am Groot." And he said, but you've been watching the movie so long that you understand him now.
Yes, believe it or not, I actually sent that to you in a video.
Really?
Today.
You sent
because
it today?
James Gunn confirmed
that's what
happened.
I am so glad I didn't know that because that would have messed me up in the theaters.
Yes, that's what happened. He said he was bringing the audience in.
That would have messed. If they had said that in the theaters, and if I had thought about that, or that was the realization that had came to my mind, that would have messed me up.
I honestly wish they had, because I had a problem with that.
Really?
Yes, because I'm like, bro, I don't want Groot to speak.
I had a problem because I had a problem.
I had a problem. Like, I didn't like the fact that he spoke.
Me neither.
But in learning that he didn't, he said, I am Groot. But him saying, I love you guys was us finally understanding him. Bro, kudos.
That was awesome. I was like, oh my God, that's incredible. And I said, I'm so glad. But I'm glad I didn't know that in the theater because I wouldn't have been.
Listen, I was almost there ready. Like, bro, this movie was. It made me. It made me sad, right? Yeah. Because one, this movie was great, but as has been said multiple times in like the press run for this movie, this is the last time this group of individuals will be together as the Guardians of the Galaxy on screen, and that's sad because they are the last of, I want to say, like, my Avengers.
Yeah.
In the sense that, like, they've been here, like, for a long time, kind of like, from when, like, I was still young, watching these movies, like, growing up. Like, because once Chris Hemsworth is done as Thor, I'm going to bawl my eyes out. Because, like, bro, what do you mean? Like, it was, I bawled my eyes out when RDJ left as Tony Stark. Like, I'm like, bro, what do you mean? Like, when Sam Jackson is no longer Nick Fury, what am I supposed to do with my life?
Yeah. I hear you.
Like, what do you mean?
It was.
So, like, in that respect, like, the movie, again 12 out of 10.
Yeah.
I am going to see it again this weekend.
Really?
Because, yes, my friend was sick last weekend, which is why we didn't go see it twice, which is why I haven't seen it twice already. Because she was sick, so we couldn't go see it last weekend. But we are going to see it this weekend.
I called Greg. I called my son when I talked to him Sunday. Yeah. And I told him we went to see it. And he said, yeah, I forgot to call you. He said, I saw it on Friday too. He had seen it on Friday also. And I said, what was your favorite scene? Like, I already knew it is because we kind of like the same things. And I asked him, well, what was your favorite scene? He said, when they were fighting their way through the corridor. I was like, you know it. Oh my God.
Impeccable.
That was, I was like, I was done. I was sitting there wishing I had a remote control where
To
I
just
could have
rewind it?
rewound to watch it
Yes.
again and slowed it down. So it slowed it down because actually they had already slowed it
Yes,
down.
they did.
But it was that. Oh
It was
my
just-
God.
it was incredible, man.
It was incredible.
Yes,
Oh my
and
God.
what's my man name who finally got the needle from Yondu to work?
Oh yeah, that was.
That scene, the way he just did that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if you heard me. I was about to burst into tears when I saw Yondu because he was one of my favorite characters.
He was one of my
and
favorites.
when he's visualized, I said, "Oh Yondu, oh my goodness, it's Yondu."
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because that was a surprise. I
Yes.
didn't expect that. I was like, oh, y'all really messing us.
yes,
really
y'all
messing-
went for the jugular,
Y'all really going in on this.
but in all the best ways.
Yeah.
In all the best ways.
Yeah. In all the best
Because
ways.
Nebula, like just her, like from where she started,
Yeah.
to where she ended, like bro,
And not to cut you off, hold that thought. And here's the thing. None of that wouldn't have happened if there had not been writers.
boom,
Mic drop. Boom.
there you go.
So you mean to tell me after watching something like that, you cannot see the worth of good writers and good storytellers? Go back.
Yeah, like bro, like the way she just like switched up everything
Yeah.
and was like Nebula in the beginning was all about herself and getting the approval of Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
To where now she's like, nah, these people need my help.
Yeah.
So I'm staying here
Yep.
to help them.
Them. Mm-hmm.
Cause even Rocket in the beginning, he was all about money.
Yep.
And he was just like, yo, like, what do you mean? This team, he said there needs to be a guard. The galaxy needs guarding. So where are you all going? Because somebody's got to do it. And it's our job because we are the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And now I'm ready for another movie because I want to see what this new Guardians
what the
team
new Guardians team got.
Because Groot looks sick.
Yeah.
Groot looks sick.
Oh my God. Yeah. You got it. Yeah. Question. Who was the little girl?
If I'm not mistaken, and they might need to explain it, like figure out how she got there. If I'm not mistaken, it's the little girl from Thor: Love and Thunder.
I thought so. I kept saying, I said, that looks like the little girl
Yeah.
from Thor: Love and Thunder.
If I'm not mistaken, that's who that was. The little girl from Thor: Love and Thunder. And speaking of, James Gunn said in an interview once that he was grateful for, I forget the guy who directed Thor: Love and Thunder.
Okay.
He was grateful for
I
him.
forgot his name. I know his. I can't call his name.
He was grateful for him and how he separated Thor from the Guardians of the Galaxy because he said regardless of whether they split in the last Thor movie, Thor was not going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Like the story was, he said he was going to act like, because he didn't like the fact that
They did
Endgame ended with
Thor going
Thor going with them.
Yeah.
So he was like, he wasn't going to. I still just want to see like a quick short, at least, of one of their adventures together.
Just one.
And not that nonsense they gave us in the beginning of Thor: Love and Thunder.
No.
I just want like an entire mission.
Yeah.
Just one.
No. Just get something real. Something real. Yeah.
Of them together.
That would be cool.
But that,
And there's, like I said, there were so many different kind of like really emotional scenes in the movie. I was just sitting here thinking, I said, for those people who have seen it already, if you watched the beginning of that movie with Rocket and what he had to endure, and it didn't make you feel some kind of way, you absolutely have no soul. You have no soul.
The scene with the four of them laying in the cage, looking up at the black ceiling, imagining what the sky looks like.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, this movie is just. I'm so happy when like a joke would happen. They were well placed.
Yeah, the jokes were well placed
because they'd hit you with a real heavy scene.
Yeah.
and then they hit you with the joke just to kind of,
Kinda like-
so you're not depressed leaving this movie and going to, like, adopt all the animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it was just, bro, like, because, oh my goodness.
Yeah, you and then the song that they even picked.
Yes.
I was like, I'm sitting there. I was like, oh God, no, they're not playing Creep. Please, anything but Creep.
Nope. That was it.
And then I'm sitting there like getting all choked up and whatnot.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God.
Oh man. It almost made me mad that what's the dude's name was black, the villain.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, it made me super mad that he was black. 'Cause I'm like, bro, why you doing this?
Yeah.
You know what your own people went through? Like, why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this? Like, what are you doing?
And it's interesting because in the comic books, you never. I don't. And I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, y'all let me know. In the comic books, the High Evolutionary never shows his face. He had like a Doctor Doom mask thing happening, but it was a metal mask. It was not. You never.
It
saw,
wasn't just skin.
Yeah, you never saw any vestiges of a face. It was just like actually you don't know if he had a face under there or not, but because he always had on the. So if there is an existing picture of him without that, I've never seen it.
Right. But yeah, man, it was just honestly, it's an incredible movie.
Yeah.
Job well done. Round of applause
Yes.
for the Guardians for 3 fantastic movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was great to know. Hold on, Adam Warlock.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I honestly, right? He seems so serious.
Mm-hmm.
Only for him to just be like so dumb.
Yeah. I like the way they played him because at first, and that's probably why they got Poulter.
Yes,
because he kind of like plays those roles, kind of
he really well.
He does well with those roles. Yeah, yeah.
And I was just like, bro, the way he but because he started off just honestly super badass, and the way he was just, the way he just appeared, and it was just like on sight, and nothing they did could stop him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, only for you to just be like super brainless,
yeah.
like super brainless, bro. But I do like his character, and I do hope he, shows up and more. Chris Pratt finally not Chris Pratt, Star-Lord going to see his grandfather was such a touching scene. Yeah,
that was another rough scene.
Yes, incredibly.
Yeah.
And it said Star-Lord will be back, which is fun and interesting.
Because I'm wondering how they'll do
because
that.
Well, I don't think Chris Pratt never said he was done.
Mm-hmm. But from what I'm hearing is that Gunn already has stuff for him to do over at
that's fine. DCU. If they showed me anything, the people over at the DCU already had stuff to do when they was at Guardians. It's scheduling.
Yeah.
And if you are in charge of DC, guess what he is also in charge of? The schedule. Best boss to have right there.
You got that right.
Because you are in charge of the schedules over here, but you still making movies over here. So you can find a way to make all of this work. Because at the end of the day, there's no longer a need for him to show up in major roles.
Who?
Chris Pratt. His Star-Lord. There's no longer a need for him to show up in major roles. No. Because as much as I hate to see these characters go that I've grown with and fell in love with, it is time for newer characters to learn to stand and walk on their own.
Yeah.
And it's kind of unfortunate that we lost Chadwick at the time, because I kind of saw him being the mediator
for the next wave.
Yeah, I kind of saw him next Avengers movie, him taking the lead, and everyone, following suit. Even though Kevin Feige said the next Avengers movie is going to play in the comics, play to the comics, and Spider-Man's taking the lead.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I thought the next Avengers movie was going to be the Young Avengers, which that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
I mean, that could be how that works because
Yeah.
Tom Holland like 5. I mean, he not, but you know, he looked 5.
He looked
like
5.
his Spider-Man is still very young.
He's actually 50.
Yeah,
he looks
like
5.
you know, his Spider-Man is still very young. So I mean, it could work, but yeah, the movie was great. Go see it if you haven't.
Yeah,
like,
if you
for
have
real.
not.
Go see Guardians of the Galaxy.
Even though we gave spoilers, you're still
Yeah.
stay. Yeah.
Like, bro, go see it. It's a fantastic movie, still worth seeing. It
And-
gave me hope for
Yeah, it did.
It gave me hope again.
It gave me hope. It gave
in
me
the MCU.
It gave me hope again. And I was like,
Because I'm like, if you can, it was good to know that I'm like, y'all can still do this.
yeah,
You can still make me remember why I love going to see Marvel movies in the first place.
yep.
That's exactly what this movie did.
That's exactly.
This movie has me hyped for more from Marvel, as long as it's on the same lines as this and they don't muck it up again.
Yeah.
But that could all be determined going back again by whether or not they pay the people who need to write the movies
That's right.
the way they need to be written.
Yeah.
So again, pay the people what they are worth.
Without them, there is no story.
There is no story. But did you hear, on a quick side note, that they are more and more rumors are coming out that they are, as soon as they find a replacement, Jonathan Majors is out of here.
You know what? And I'm kind of disgusted with that whole thing because again, now before I go and say what I'm getting ready to say, let me ask a question. Is the stuff that they alleging that has it been proven as fact, or are they still thrashing stuff out?
Last I read that there was a video of the one incident, but what has them like looking elsewhere is that more women have come forward.
Yeah, exactly.
And
but with all the women, with all the women that are coming forward, are they coming forward with evidence, or is it just like I don't know. Again, I'm trying to be politically correct here, y'all. But again, I don't know, because it's like, are they coming out with proof? Because if they've got proof, fine, I get it, I understand. But if they don't have proof, or if it's not going to be have the luxury of going through a court process or something where he's been proven to have done these kind of things. Now, if they're not going to do that, then I don't understand why why they're looking so quickly to get rid of him and dismiss him from everything. You understand what I'm saying?
I get it.
Why the studios and stuff were so ready to get rid of him? Yeah, and I mean, we say you're innocent until proven guilty, and and that should be the case, but we do know that that's not always the case.
No, but I think it has more to do with like his representation dropping him kind of sends that's not a great look.
No.
It's more of that, like, because like, you mean tell me your people like are letting you go after just like, like nothing's really it's kind of what it kind of looks like is like when they let him go, it was like, oh crap, cat's out of the bag. We need to distance ourselves from this as quickly as possible. Kind of like one of those we knew.
Really? You think so?
That's how it looks.
Like
with the speed that he was dropped from, even his own representation, with how quick everything took place.
Okay. Got you. All right.
It kind of looks like, it is true.
Okay.
We knew about it, but it wasn't out, so we were rocking with you. But it is now coming to light, so we don't look bad. We need to distance ourselves from you as quickly as possible.
Possibly can. And I was just starting to like him.
Yeah,
I was really just starting to really, really like him, and I was like, oh man, I really hope he didn't do all these heinous things that they're saying. But then, why can't y'all give him a Miller? Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Valid point.
And by Miller, I mean give him he need to get the representation and the lawyers that Ezra Miller had. Because that Ezra Miller is like there's no way this movie should have happened. Based on the way they're doing things now in Hollywood, there's no way the Flash should have happened.
Well, was his abuse?
Huh?
Was his abuse?
I think on one level it was.
Yeah, because when I was looking it up to just see what they did, because I'm trying to be politically correct in that aspect, because Ezra Miller is non-binary. Their pronouns are they and them, not he and him. So I'm trying to do better when it comes to that. It gets super confusing.
Yeah,
but
and I'm kind of old, so it's kind of I'm a little slow. So
yeah, I was looking.
Bear with me.
When I was looking into it, they had only thrown a chair, and they had only thrown a chair at someone.
Who?
Ezra Miller.
Okay.
And it was burglary, and they threw a chair at someone in a club. That was all I was able to find when looking into what happened with Ezra Miller.
I believe there was also some sort of indiscretions with an underage girl.
Oh, yeah, that I didn't see that anywhere.
Yeah, I believe there's some sort of indiscretions with an underage fan.
Well, I mean, honestly, what you have said so far is nothing to get you canceled for in Hollywood, because remember, all of Hollywood, Harvey Weinstein just went to jail, and all of them that just went to jail. So
dude, I get it.
If it was indiscretions with an underage person, they've been hiding that for forever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But sexual abuse, you can't do that.
Yeah. No.
You can't do that. None of it. Let me be clear. Yeah. None of it is okay, right? You should not
do any. All of this stuff is reprehensible.
Under no circumstances is any of this okay.
So don't get
at
mad
us. And to us here, none of it is okay.
None of it.
But given how long it has been hidden in Hollywood, it is clearly not enough for Hollywood to cancel you. But abuse against a woman clearly is enough.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I said I don't think they've done anything worth canceling yet. So, the movie's coming out. I'm honestly going to go see it.
Oh, no, I'm going to go see it.
It looks fantastic.
You know what? And here's, no, I'm going to see the movie for two reasons. And I've said that before. I'm going to see it, first of all, because at the end of the day, Ezra Miller is a good actor. And he's playing a role that seems to be tailor-made for him. Right. And the only other reason I'm really excited and hyped about the movie is Michael Keaton.
That's the only reason I'm going to see that. It's Michael Keaton.
If they had not added that factor, I probably would not be I'd be excited, but not as excited as I am knowing that Michael Keaton
is in it
as the original Batman. Well,
and there's the possibility that Christian Bale is in it.
Yeah.
So those two things are
just knowing that kind of stuff is making me.
It excites me.
It excites me. It makes me want to go see the movie.
But yeah.
It's
what is the? There was something else. But we're not going to talk about it here because we talked about it enough. But honestly, we can call it
We're good?
Yeah, we can call it an episode.
I think we're good.
I mean, like I said, due to the fact that the writer's strike is going on, there's not really much to watch on TV because the summer shows haven't really started yet.
Yeah.
I've been watching Fantasy Island.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
All right.
I like it.
I keep, every time I run across it, I run across it on a feed or something like that. I look at it and I'm like,
yeah, it's entertaining.
Is it? Okay.
I'm kind of pissed because
there's a woman, right?
Yes.
Is she Mrs. Rourke?
She's a Rourke.
She is a Rourke?
Yeah, she's a Rourke.
Okay.
But it's
all right.
it's like there's like the Rourke family runs the island.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now, do they in this series, in the new series, do they deal with who the Rourkes are? That's always been a mystery for me.
They've just said that like there is a history between the Rourkes and the island.
Okay.
That's all they really say. They haven't really gone into
it yet.
Anything yet.
Okay.
But it looks like it is soon, because part of the reason I'm pissed with the show is like 5 episodes ago, at the end of the episode, we saw that something is going wrong with the island. Because the island is beautiful, it's green, it's lush, but after one of the guests leaves, you see a chunk of the island is dying.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it's been like 5 episodes.
Okay.
And not one of those episodes has remotely come close to explaining why that section of the island is dying.
Okay.
And I need to know why that section of the island is dying.
Oh, they got you.
They do, because I'm like, yo, if y'all don't tell me why this island is dying, I'm going to get real upset.
They got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the same thing that the Winchesters did to me. They got me. I was like, there were several times I just finished binge watching the first season, and there were several times during the first couple of episodes, first maybe three to 4 episodes, I was like, oh, I'm not watching this. But then I'd watch another episode. The last 3 episodes of the season, that's when those are the ones that are gonna really, really suck you in, man. It's like if you were a fan of Supernatural, those last 3 episodes are going.
How many episodes is it?
I think it's 10. I think they did 10.
Okay,
10.
They're not Supernatural length.
Oh no! I don't know if I could have made it. I don't know if I would have made it. No, I think it was like
Supernatural 10. Is the only show that I like. With like 22
still,
episodes, I could still like. I would get pissed.
Yeah.
When I finished the 22 episode season of Supernatural, like, wait, what you mean? I finished the whole thing and that's it. Every time you start binge watching Supernatural, and every time you get to the episode where Carry On Wayward Son started playing, I got mad. Because I knew that is the song that they started the season with and they ended the season with.
Yeah.
So I knew that I already heard it in the beginning. I knew if I heard the song again, it was it.
The season was over.
The season was over, and I got upset.
I'm trying to think. I don't think they break that tradition in this either.
Who told them they could use that song? Who told them they could use that song?
I can't say without spoiling.
All right.
I can't say without spoiling.
All right. Well, this has been fun.
Yes, it has.
Once again, pay the people.
Yeah.
Go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And until the next one.
Until the next one.
We out.
We out.